They say the battlefield changes a man, but in this world, it doesn't just change you, it breaks you. According to the veterans, the crazy people you meet in the middle of a war usually fall into 3 distinct types. Type 1, the ones who have completely lost their minds and are literally begging for a way to die. To them, the sword is just a shortcut to the end of their misery. Type 2, the ones burning with a rage so hot it blinds them to everything else. These are the revenge seekers. They don't see enemies, they just see targets. And then there's the third type, the most dangerous one. The one who stays calm while everyone else is screaming. Meet our protagonist. He isn't screaming for blood or crying for death, he's just muttering. To an outsider, it sounds like gibberish, but in a world of medieval fantasy, muttering usually means one thing: magic. The regular soldiers behind him are rightfully freaked out. They're looking at him like, hey man, what are you whispering about? This isn't exactly the time for a poetry reading. They have no idea they're standing next to a human nuke. One soldier loses his cool. He sees an opening, or maybe he's just tired of the spooky vibes, and screams for the cloaked weirdo to move. He's about to find out why you never interrupt a wizard mid-cast. Our guy doesn't even flinch. He just continues the incantation. With a scroll in hand and ancient runes glowing in the dark, he's about to remind these grunts that while a sword can kill a man, a wizard can reshape the entire forest. The battlefield was already a nightmare, but it was about to get much worse. As the infantry struggled to hold the line, one soldier aimed his crystal-powered crossbow at the mysterious figure in the blue cloak, cursing him for standing in the way. He didn't realize he was threatening a human catastrophe. Ignoring the shouts, the protagonist remained calm, his eyes fixed on the ancient runes glowing upon his scroll. Suddenly, a massive pillar of blue light erupted from his position, piercing the heavy clouds above. The soldiers froze in terror, watching as the atmosphere itself began to crack under the pressure. One man whispered, "Thunder?" But this was no natural storm. The heavens shattered. Violent bolts of blue lightning rained down, obliterating the terrain. Shields and armor were useless. The raw, magical force leveled the forest and sent soldiers flying through the air in a desperate scramble for survival. Amidst the wreckage, a holographic ancient mystery window materialized, struggling to identify the entity responsible for the devastation. It registered a being charging forward with neither armor nor shield, just pure, unbridled mana. As the smoke cleared, the protagonist finally looked up. With glowing blue eyes and a cold smirk, his identity was confirmed. He was a crazy mage, the most dangerous force in the world. Ritsuki Katoyama was a normal guy with a simple dream: get into a good university and start a fresh campus life. But just as he received his acceptance letter, fate decided to throw a massive curveball. Literally. While looking at his phone, Ritsuki was hit by a truck and his life ended instantly. It was a crap end to an even crappier life. However, the game over screen didn't last long. When he finally woke up, he wasn't in a hospital or the afterlife. He was a baby. He had been reborn into a medieval world as Ian, the son of poor peasants. If you thought being a university student was a struggle, try being the third of 4 siblings in a family of dirt poor farmers. Ian's new life was defined by one thing: hunger. His family lived in a house that looked like it was held together by hope and prayer. While his parents and older brothers spent their days working themselves to the bone, Ian and his younger sister were left to wander the forest all day, desperately searching for anything edible just to survive until the next sunrise. From a computer engineering hopeful to a starving forest scavenger, Ian's second chance at life was off to a predictably rough start. Being the only black-haired child in a village full of blondes didn't exactly help Ian fit in. Local kids would point and call him gross or compare him to a crow, mocking his appearance as if he were some kind of bad omen. Ian didn't care about their insults, but he did care about his situation. He was trapped in a cycle of crushing poverty, working heavy labor every single day just to stay alive, while inheriting nothing but his parents' massive debts. To him, the Middle Ages weren't some epic fantasy, they were a nightmare. Then, the moment every reincarnated protagonist waits for finally happened. A status window appeared. He held his breath, expecting a cheat skill or a legendary class that would pull him out of the dirt. The screen flickered, reading, "You are," followed by a single soul-crushing word: nobody. The system didn't just ignore him, it actively insulted him. Ian realized that even with a status window, his reality hadn't changed. He was still a peasant in debt, destined to spend his life tilling fields and wandering the woods for scraps. In a world where your profession is your destiny, Ian was told he was nothing, doomed to be a farmer until the day he died. He sat by the campfire with his sister, staring into the flames, realizing that in this new world, he wasn't the hero, He was just background noise. Ian felt trapped. In this life, he didn't even have the chance to learn anything new, let alone study computer engineering or art like he once dreamed. He was confident that he could excel at anything if he just had the resources. But as a peasant, his only path was the one he was already walking. He looked at his younger sister, Brina, who was happily munching on some wild berries she'd found. Just the other day, he had taught her the word dessert, and seeing her grow and stay happy despite their poverty was the only thing that kept him going. He told her not to wander too far as they continued their daily search for food, realizing that even if he was a nobody to the system, he was everything to her. But suddenly, the protagonist senses something strange and becomes alert. A massive bear emerges from behind the bushes, frightening the two children. The protagonist and his sister freeze, paralyzed with fear in front of the beast, and panics, not knowing what to do in that dangerous situation. The beast then rears up, roaring furiously at the two siblings. The bear then attacks, swiping with its sharp claws ready to strike. At that moment, the boy hugs his little sister, trying to shield her from the attack. Suddenly, a bolt of blue light strikes the animal head-on with incredible power. The bear cries out in pain as it's zapped by the mysterious magic. The beast then collapses to the ground, completely defeated. Stunned by what just happened, the boy stares into the smoke. A voice says that maybe they overdid it a little with the strength of the attack. Then a mysterious woman with glasses emerges from all the smoke. She adjusts her glasses and asks if this is the territory of Feldenberg. The boy confirms and wonders if she was the one who defeated the big bear. The woman then introduces herself as a Reus, a wandering mage. Ian is shocked to hear the word mag, as it was something very rare. He remembers that mages are powerful beings who appear on battlefields. They use elegant spells with gigantic destructive power. This makes him wonder what someone like that would be doing in such a remote place. The mage explains that she's looking for a boy with black hair in this town. She then asks if there's any other boy like that, and he says no with a smile. The woman says it seems she's found the right person. The protagonist is confused and points to himself. Not understanding anything, in a flashback, we see a hooded figure asking Eledith to find the boy. The person said that good things would happen if she made him her disciple. She sizes up the boy and wonders if she really should make him her apprentice. Then the mage lets out a laugh, seeming to have made a decision about the boy. Ian thinks that he'd heard mages were eccentric, but she seemed kind. He remembers the incredible power she used to vaporize the bear. With that, the boy decides to ask the mysterious mage a question. The boy asks about the magic she used on the bear earlier. The mage notices his interest, and he says that seeing the magic was incredible. She says it's nothing special and that anyone can learn it easily. The boy is surprised to hear that anyone can master magic. With a bit of hesitation, he then asks if he can learn to use magic too. The woman gives a mysterious smile upon hearing the boy's question. Then she says it's possible if he finds a good teacher and pats his head. She claims that Ian can also become a mage, and he imagines himself being powerful. Next, the woman offers her hand and says she would like to teach him. Arius invites him to be her apprentice, and the young man stares at her outstretched hand. The protagonist realizes that this could be the chance to change his life forever. After all, a new path besides being a farmer is opening up for him. With that, the boy accepts the offer and shakes his new master's hand. Like and subscribe and get me to 50 likes for part 2.